But other than that, a special mention, Te Pāti Māori MP Tākuta Ferris is standing by his controversial social media posts claiming only Māori should campaign in Māori electorates, despite his party apologising last week at the remarks which singled out Labour volunteers over other ethnicities has sparked accusations of racism, while Ferris insists he's defending Māori voices. Oh my God. If I recorded this, if I recorded a video on this, which I did consider doing, when he doubled down, I would be way less restrained on this than I am right now. Let me be clear right now. This flip-flopping that Chris Hipkins is doing, or Chippy, or whatever people call him, I call him Chris, calling it unhelpful, is really underselling it for the Labour Party, but in terms of straight-up fact, it's more unhelpful and more racist. And the amount of the sort of rhetoric that came out in his I don't want to make claims, but his 7-minute spiral in Midnight was bloody tantamount to great replacement theory stuff. I mean, when it first came out, right, that was bad enough. Came out, I believe, it was a day before the election, the by-election rather. I think it was on Friday. I've got no great memory, but when that came out, looked at my phone and went, "Oh my God, what the hell? What the hell is this?" And my immediate thought was, "Holy God, Labour has to work with this. This is political fodder for the right that they can play into, for good or for worst." And this is just this is bad. This is really bad. But I fully expected, and when Te Pāti Māori rightly apologised for this, I thought, okay, well, they're going to tell, and in my head I'm thinking, well, they're going to tell him, look, lay low. If you're not going to apologise, just don't say a thing. Just zip it. Just lay low, don't say anything, don't attend any meetings, just lay low for a good 1 to 2 weeks at least. Did he do that? No. Days after, he decided to release a 7-minute, or I think it was an Instagram live, but it was a 7-minute video of him doubling, not even defending himself, doubling down. I just wonder. Look, Te Pāti Māori are trying to get into the general role, right? They're trying to get into the general role. What are they? I can't think. Like I had a clearer mind about this last week, but I've just sat on like, how do they think this is okay? And I don't think that they think this is okay, because they are running in the, like I said, they're going to run in the general. Tamahida, I believe, is going to run in Kelston. I'll just leave it like this, right? I think the coyness that some left commentators saying that this is not helpful, I think, is really dangerous. The sort of rhetoric that he said was just borderline racist, and I'll be honest, the biggest argument against Māori seats that I've ever seen in my life. I'm not against Māori seats. I'm not against Māori wards. I am at all. Not against them at all. But I can see this is the biggest argument against it. And if anybody can't recognise the danger of this sort of rhetoric, this reactionary rhetoric, this is borderline, not even borderline, sorry, not even going to use that sort of language. It is reactionary rhetoric. And not being upfront and being about this and saying this is racist, this is abhorrent, and yes, the fact that he's doubled down, there should be even more consequences. Whatever how Te Pāti Māori is structured, there needs to be consequences around this. There needs to be something, and obviously he's an elected member. It's not like Darling Tana, where you can waka jump. Someone like him, he's an elected member, of course. But if he's not going to apologise and double down, he needs to leave the party. I say that not just because of Labour, but this will hold a message to Te Pāti Māori among the general voter, especially in the general role. Look, this might energise the Māori role. I'm not Māori myself. I'm talking extensively in the general role. This is poison for them, not just for Labor, specific Labor and the Greens, and also TPM themselves. This is absolute poison, and if they want any chance of getting to 5%, they need to get rid of him. They need to get rid of him. If he won't apologize, if he continues to defend himself, there will be, and it's already stuck. It's already stuck, of course. And I'm not saying that. Like, I'm not someone that tries to be a centrist about, about the left-leaning parties and say that, like, oh my God, you can't be called a communist, so you can't do capital gain. I'm not that sort of person. If you know me, I'm not that guy. This is not about that. This is on principle. What he said was racist. If you want to apologise, if it was in the Labour Party, he'd get bollocked. He would get bollocked, absolutely. And this is a concerning thing that he's been given a lot of leeway. Recently, he'd get bollocked, probably maybe not in the 80s. Different time, I guess. And if I was the leader, so if I was Rawiri Waititi, if I was Debbie Ngāwera Packer, not great pronunciation, eh? I would really be more upfront, be really on top of this. And the fact that he didn't attend a sitting of Parliament after the fact was not great. It was not great at all. And I don't care there's a reason, they were at a hui and that. That's not a great look. That's a terrible perception. And this message will be stuck to the Māori Party and by extension the other two parties going into election year. And it really, really, really is really unhelpful. And if you were talking to me last week about this, when it first happened, I would be absolutely fuming. And I am angry now, but I'm a bit more cooled down. I don't know. It just seems, something like this really seems like something that could get the campaign to get this government out of office fall short. There is a danger